All right, welcome back to Dank Scott Traders App. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, apologies for the delay. Had some challenges I was still fixing, but yeah, we're back. Hope you guys have a great time. And now we're headed to, as usual, we're headed to the analysis as usual. So if you don't mind, go ahead and share the link, share the to your friends, to those that you want to inspire and get them excited about trading. Share the link to them so that they can come around and we look into the charts. Maybe they can even, you never know, get that interest into learning how to trade. Otherwise, good morning. I see Patrick, you're already around. Good morning, Patrick. Let's now dive into prayer and then get in with the analysis. Father, we say thank you for the beautiful morning. Thank you that we're here. Thank you that you gave us good success yesterday. Thank you that we made money yesterday. Thank you for the signals that you gave unto us. Thank you for the entries and exits you provided, where we made it wrong, where we moved out late. We ask that you remind us that, and we'll be able to improve on those levels. Where we moved out early, yes, you're improving us day by day to be better traders. And of course, Lord, where we made losses, for those that made losses, Lord, we ask that you may teach them how to always be patient and wait for clear entries, and of course your guidance as we make these entries. We give you praise, we give you all the honor. Thank you for today's profits as we start the analysis, and throughout the day we know that you're going to give us a good success, and we'll be giving you all the glory and the honor because you deserve it. We give you praise, we love you. In Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen. All right, so apologies. So right now we are going to head straight to crash 500. You know the drill. Please go ahead and share the stream, and we don't want to lose out any person who should be part of us. All right, so yesterday with crash 500, we started, we were looking for buys here. Those who remember, I told you we will anticipate a pullback here. Let me go to M15 before I delete this analysis. So we were looking for this kind of a pullback. We did not see one. It actually continued to sell. I told you we wanted to buy from this fair value gap. That was an H1, I believe, fair value gap. Yes, so that happened. It actually even gave us some sort of a fake breakout. So we bought from this level here. This is where we entered our buys, right there. The other move that I was having that had taken me about 3 days, I also closed it yesterday around there. Yeah, but it came to take me out, having gone into profits there, and I was tired, waiting for it to hit my target the whole day. So I ended up closing even this other entry that I had made after being taken out right there. But clearly, those who were on VIP, I think you had taken some good money around that area, because we had talked about that. As it was doing that, it consolidated here. So by the time it hit this level, I was out again. I was out of the market by that time, and I was done. I had already hit my target, and I didn't want anything to do with crash 500 because it kept on playing around here, and I could not wait for that much. But that was a signal yesterday. So if you were here yesterday and you took that trade on this fair value gap that like we had anticipated yesterday, congrats on your profits. And if you didn't take it, hope you've learned one or two things that you can do differently on the next structure like this if you see one. All right, so now we want to look at today. Let's talk about today. So we know that this move is still going. The first TP has been reached, but now let's see if the second TP has been reached. Okay, so according to H4, yeah, the buy is on, and the second TP hasn't been reached yet. So what are we going to do? All right, so H1, H4 overbought. We are seeing rejection coming in here. There's a resistance area right there. There's a resistance level right there. So it's gonna be hard for us to anticipate some sells, some buys right where we are, unless price breaks that resistance level. So for now, I may say, wait a minute. Do we still need this? Not really. Delete it. So what are we seeing? What are we seeing? We're seeing that, and we're seeing that. Alright, so if we are seeing that on H1 and M15, if we are seeing that on H1 and M15, that tells us that price is still bullish. So it's praying around here. It's gonna come down below here for the sell, and then it will come again up until it gets some weird momentum. I don't know when, but it has to get a weird momentum that will push it to break out there and continue with that move, because it has to hit that TP. It has to come to that area right there. So what are we going to do here? We've already seen that M30 and M15 need sells according to CCI signal. So let me delete these, use these ones. So we need sells down here, but I've seen, according to H1, I've seen prices likely to come to this OB right there. So I believe it's gonna come again, tap around that level, and then give us probably enough push to break that and continue. So if we can anticipate that and wait for it, then we can get some good buys, but it doesn't mean you can't sell it. So all we need is now to wait for M5 to be ready to sell. So if M5 gets ready and goes below our 10 MA, then you can make some sell entries on crash 500. But if you don't see that and you're not comfortable with it, then you rather wait for buys, probably on this H1 OB, because down below, above it, above that OB, there is a fair value gap. So either way, it has to come for this before it goes ahead to break this resistance, because we've already seen M30 and M15 need some pullback sell according to CCI and RSI, and that's what we'll be taking in account and waiting for. All right, I think that's enough. Let's now head over to Boom 1000 and look at it. All right, so Boom 1000, what happened? We saw, this was yesterday it sold perfectly. I continued with a perfect sell after that retracement I told you about. Let me show it to you. Remember this retracement? I told you that when it reaches here, we are going to be anticipating a pullback. Yes, it did not reach that break of structure according to according to what? According to H1 and H4, I believe. Yeah, no, according to H1, it did not reach back there, but it gave us that pullback, meaning it gave us a lower high. This move here, it gave us a lower high right there, and then came and broke structure. But the way the candles were a bit smaller, I couldn't make any entries, and the other reason is I was already in another trade. I think I was already in other two trades, V75 and Crash 500, so I could not make that entry. So we saw the internal break of structure and then the external break of structure right there, and that was perfect for a continuation of sales. And you can see it continued to sell, and now early morning excuse me. So early morning we saw a pullback here. Early morning we saw a pullback there, and now it continued, and now we have sort of another break of structure. It's not that that much, it has just started, but you never know. Currently we are seeing some indecision H1 candles. If we go to H4, it's not yet a break of structure per se, because that candle hasn't closed yet, meaning we have to wait for this current H4 candle to close for us to anticipate the break of structure. So according to CCI on M15, we clearly see that price is trying to give us some reversal signal, and hopefully we can see one. Even M30, we are oversold, so we should be anticipating some pullback here according to lower time frames, but on higher time frame we are still very bullish, bearish. Why? Because we got that break of structure. Now remember, this is H4, this is a boom 1000, and we've seen, remember this move. I told you when we see this, we normally consider it has to continue with the previous trend. And looking at daily time frame from this consolidation, it's gonna look for this very move right there. This very move, it has to come in play, this very move. So this is our all-time, this is our target, this is our overall target that we need right there. That is our overall target that we will be anticipating. So if that's the case, then let me first go to weekly. I see where is that? Okay, it is on that OB, that last OB. Okay, so go to H4. I want to delete this. This, we know it's coming all the way down there. So how are we going to trade this? Now that we saw this kind of a breakout, are we going to anticipate some pullback on H4? I believe so. There's gonna be some pullback, but to where? Yes, according to H4, this is where we saw a break of structure. That means if we are to see a pullback, that pullback is likely to come for that fair value gap right in there, because that's where we have our break of structure, or call it the breaker block. So the anticipation is for buys to come around there, and then we continue with sells. That's what we are going to be anticipating. So having seen this, allow me to delete these now. I don't need them. And let's go to daily. All right, yeah, so that's something I'm going to be anticipating, but I cannot do anything until I see a reversal signal. Yes, I have those two indecision candles, which can literally now tell me that buyers are trying to get the hold of the market currently, but now I cannot do anything. I need to see a reversal signal. Hopefully I can actually even wait for the one on H1, not even M15. That's what I can wait for me to enter buys to push and grab that liquidity on that fair value gap. All right, so that's enough on boom 1000. Let's go to boom 500. All right, boom 500. So boom 500, what happened? Let's see. So we were in this channel and I told you the overall move or trend is gonna be a sell. Why? Because we had hit an overbought level and we were trying to push for, we are looking for sells, but this pullback was short-lived that we wanted so that we can come in with sells. It was short-lived and gave us a breakout here and another breakout here, but then it could not continue due to this trend line here that we have according to daily time frame. Now remember, according to daily time frame, we've been looking for these buys from there to there. So we have all those moves, you know, from here to there, so from here to there, so all those are moves. I was looking for sales to just come around here and grab that liquidity on that weekly time frame. This is a liquidity on the fair value gap that I was looking at, but according to what we see, it's quite tricky. H4 says we need to look for sales. H4 says that. Daily time frame says sales. H1 says sales still, though it's almost oversold. M15 says sales. M30 is the one that is currently looking for buys, but according to price action, M15 is looking for buys. We are into a buy trend according to M15. Why? Because of the price action. This was a double bottom right here. That would have been a perfect entry for us right there for the buys. Give us that double bottom, went, gave us that change of character, came down here, tested, and that was our perfect entry right there that we missed on this very candle. That would have been a perfect entry for the buys. And yeah, you can see higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Now it's trying to look for a new high, though it is sort of now giving us that kind of a resistance right there. It's failing to break that, but it hasn't closed yet. The H4 hasn't closed yet. It can easily break out and give us a new high before the new H4 has started. The new H4 has started. It is looking for a wick, so we know that now that is likely to break and continue. It is either looking for a wick or coming in for sales, having given us this kind of a change of character on H4. It can easily come for sales or continue with buys. So right now, having seen all that, I don't want to do anything. In fact, I may not trade this asset at all unless I see something substantial. I mean something that that I can play around with and get an entry. So let's see, is this enough? Are we missing something? this fair value gap was grabbed, the liquidity on that fair value gap was grabbed. So delete this. We see that here was a fair value gap. We grabbed that liquidity and then went ahead. If I go to M30, I need buys. That means we should be continuing. But then the general trend on H1, H4 and daily time frame, it's a sell, and even M15. So it's gonna be one of those crazy moves. According to M5, I should be entering sales. In fact, if the way I'm seeing M5, I should be coming in with sales, and these sales I can only enter them and take my profits around here. So having seen what I'm seeing on M5, the only problem is on M15 price is not below my 10 MA. That is where the challenge is. That is where the challenge is. If I enter now, it can easily spike back and take me out. So I'm gonna wait and be patient. As it continues to spike, it's gonna be bringing my 10 MA closer to being below according to M15. So for now, I have to be patient. I need it to be below my 10 MA, and then I can make that entry of a sell. Yeah. All right. So no business here. Leave it on M15. In fact, leave it on M5. Let's go to V25 1S. Volatility 25 1S. It happened with the buys, though the pullback did not come through. The pullback that I wanted did not come through. The fake breakout, this fake breakout right here, did not come through, because I told you that this would have been the second option right there to bring us into buys, but it gave us that and went ahead to break and continue with buys. And I couldn't do anything because it did not really give me a choice, but rather to leave it. So apparently we see buys have taken shape, and let's now look at it in a clear way according to higher time frame. So let's start with daily. Weekly. So weekly, we know that we've been in that kind of a channel according to weekly. You get that. If you go to according to weekly, by the way, we need sales. Even though price is way above our 10 MA, we still need sales. Yeah. According to daily time frame, we are still looking for some buys. Yeah, because that's the general trend. And according to price action, you clearly see that also. It left this liquidity here, and I don't think it will ever come back for it to test it. So I can easily delete that, delete this, and now I want to see week. Wait a minute, daily. All right, so we're having that rejection, but still buyers are also pushing. Today has started as a push from buyers to go into an uptrend. According to H4, however, we see some sort of consolidation taking place. This right here is the reason why we are having our target right there. We know the price has to reach there. Why? Because of this move right here. So it has happened, but then it hasn't reached yet. But then where we are currently, according to H4, we see another sort of retracement. You see another sort of retracement right there. Low, high, low, high. So it's coming now to this level right here. I delete that. I know it's coming here. So what am I going to do? Go to H1. According to H1, this can be a good trade for us, but it's not yet ready to give us that entry. Let's see if we can confirm it on M30. Not yet. M30 says there's likely a pullback to reach there, and that will be confirming, I believe, MH1. So go to M15. Still weird. So apparently I'm not ready to make any sales. I'm not ready to make any sales, but they'll be coming. The sales will be coming. The sales will be coming in. So for now, I want to hold on and be patient. The sales will be coming in later, not now. Sales will be coming in later, not now, but I choose to be patient now. I choose to be patient. I choose to be patient. So it's likely to come around there, then we get in with our sales. So having seen this, I choose to be patient, and I will leave it at there and be patient and see if it is actually going to work out something here like this. So for now, yeah, I have a structure that I can work with, but it's not 100% accurate. We need to be patient. Let me go to M5 and see. I think it's gonna work out. I think it's gonna work out. So M15, M5 is going to come and test such a level, and then it will give us the buys here according to M5. The buys will take us all the way up there according to M15. We reach there and M30, and then we come in with our sales according to H1. All right, so I believe this is okay. This is a trade that you should not miss out. The buy that takes us there, it's one of those trades that you should not miss out. So if you are a trader of V25 1S, don't miss it out. Don't take your eyes off this and wait a bit. When it is ready, make that entry. Enough of that. Let's go to V75. Today we are time bad, so I need to add in a little more speed. All right, so V75, what happened? Let's look at yesterday. We were looking at a lot of rejection, and I told you, this is what I told you. I told you the general trend is still a sell, but according to this structure here and what we had seen it, and knowing that we are not market makers, these guys could eventually break out and continue with buys. But I also told you the other reason, the other option, that if it breaks that level on this trend line, then you know that it's gonna continue selling, and you just wait for a pullback. And I remember giving you that if you missed yesterday's analysis, then you should go to the channel and look for yesterday's episode 234, episode 234. So that pullback happened, and then the sell came through. Now I was it played games actually. Let me show you that. It played games around here. I had made my entry here, it came and took me out right there. I was early to make the entry. This was the entry. That was the entry right there. I was early to the first, of course, this first sale I took the profits. That was a first sale when it had just broken out. I made that sale, but then I made another entry because when it started to play around here, I understood that it's going to pull to give me that pullback that I had told you guys. So I made my entry when it had done that, and I was a bit late to make that entry, so it came and took me out there, and I never again entered. It kept on playing games here until it reached there, and by that time I was tired and I had already made some money on another asset to cover up the loss here, and of course to hit my target. So I could not, by the time it did this, I missed it. I just went off for like an hour only to come back and find that it had done that and went all the way here. So that's how I missed that perfect entry, but nevertheless it followed the analysis, even though it did not go to hit the TP just like we had wanted, but it did follow the analysis. So now we delete all this, we don't need it, and now we start afresh. Let's look at this. All right, so a sale is still on. We are still looking for a sale, whether we want it or not. We still need a sale, even though we are in a consolidation zone according to H4 and daily, but a sale is still on. And looking at the previous H1 candle, that is a rejection. Previous H4 candle, we saw that rejection too. And yeah, a sale is still on. Let's go to M30. Yes, sale is on. Sale is on. All we need is to wait for M15 to confirm that. So if we can see something like this on M15, then we can grab that sale. If price fails to break that, then you will be able to make that sale. So this sale is still on, and it's likely to bring us this time to this trend line of ours. So for now, just wait on M15 for the perfect entry. Pull back, then enter. If it fails to break that then and starts to sell, then wait for it to be below a 10 MA and make that entry. That will be your sniper entry. Of course, if you want a sniper entry, then you will have to enter when it reaches this OB. But the perfect entry would be when it goes below our 10 MA after this pullback. Jump 50. Please, if you have a question, jot it into the comment section there. I'll be able to respond to it, but also let me know if there is any challenges, and of course please don't forget to give us that thumbs up, like, and if you don't even mind, go ahead and share. All right, so Jump 50 was one of those crazy assets. I made some good money on it, but I was supposed to even make much more. So remember yesterday's structure. This was yesterday's structure according to H1, the buy, and we needed that buy. So when it broke out here, you see that candle, that red candle there, the green candle, then after that breakout, then it gave us that red candle. Then I made my entry right there. That was my entry right there. So all this was supposed to be my profit. But out of nowhere, it came around and took me out. as I was still holding my position to of course hit my target right up there, it came around and took me out, but it took me out in profit. So this alone covered the loss I had made and gave me even some money, but it was not enough. It was not exactly what I had anticipated, because it had already given me some good much money, and that was a lesson that I had taught myself to always take what the market has already given me. So I was supposed to take this much that it had already given me, but instead I think I was a bit greedy yesterday, wanting it to hit the target, and it eventually did not hit the target, and up to now it is still in a consolidation zone. I again entered when it came and tested this level, and I think this one I gave to my VIP guys. So it came here, took me out, having again gone into profits, took me out in profits again. I did not make a loss, but this was supposed to be that much profit I should have taken. Again, looking at that, it had gone to grab that liquidity on that fair value gap. So having seen all this, it's enough. Let's now talk about today. So this is no longer necessary, this not necessary, not necessary, this not necessary. What we are seeing currently is we are seeing another breakout. We are seeing another breakout. We are seeing this. This is a structure that we are currently seeing right here. A high, low, high, low, high. It has not come to give us a low. It has stopped around there, and now it has given us a breakout right about there. So all we need now is to wait for price to close above that. So let's go to H1. So we need this current H1 candle to close outside. Once it closes outside, the next H1 candle will be a buy candle, and we'll be making that entry to push again our buys to reach that level. But this time, if price comes around this, take your profits, at least partial profits. When it comes to that previous high right there, take your profits at least. Don't be like me and lose what the market has already given you. When the market is about to reverse, it gives you some warnings, so you need to always understand those warnings and know that it is time to move out. It is time to move out. All right, so all I need now is to wait for the next H1 candle and see how it starts. If it starts with a jump and goes down below, then we don't have a deal. But if this candle closes outside this trend line, then the next one will have to be a buy candle. We'll see about that, but for now, no business. So we wait. We're still looking for buys. Jump 25. J25. I told you yesterday we were of course looking for that, but I told you we will anticipate a fake breakout down below here. The fake breakout did not happen, but we saw the buy coming through right here. I had already told you that. I told you I would not draw all these other lines. I had already drawn these other lines, but I told you I would only keep with these because we already know that that is obvious for buys to come around there. So now, since we had a high there, a low here, another low here, now it went and gave us another high. So we are going to consider this high. First, wait. This is H1, H4, daily, H1, M30, H1, M15. So we are still in a downtrend. So that tells us that this is gonna be our low, our high, I mean right there. That is our high there. So either way, this OB according to H4 is still valid. Price is still likely to come and first reach that OB. So whatever that we have here, we drag it onto this other side. We drag it to this other side. We still need this. So it's likely to come around and do that. So for now, we wait. It can easily react from here and go to the buys, or come to this OB according to H4 and then give us the buys. So as we talk, the sale is on, and you can see the reason why. Actually, we missed this. We should have made that entry right there. This was a perfect trade for us. We love these kinds of trades, but it's not yet done. It means we can enter it actually, since we are seeing this kind of a pullback. Since we are seeing that kind of a pullback, it means we can still join in. We can still join in. We can still join in. Okay, so we wait for this H1 candle to close. Then we can enter some sells. Then we can enter with some sells. So for now, no business. We wait for this H1 candle to close. J10. Oh, before I close the J25, this, we are going to anticipate this, and then we come in with our sells. But then later we will be coming in with buys according to what? According to H1. According to H1, this will be the buy right there. This will be the buy. That will be the anticipation. Either the buy to break out and continue. Remember, this is like this. This is like that. That's the target. So we'll be looking for that kind of move right about there. That will be our target. Or price to give us this breakout, fake breakout down below here. Then we also look for the same target right there. So for now, leave it at M15 and wait for their next H4, I mean H1 candle to start. J10, let's talk about J10, and we call it a day. J10, so J10, what happened? Let's go to so this one, the same, it was almost the same as J25. I told you we were anticipating a fake breakout. Why? Because it was a pennant. It later gave us this as a low because it was a pennant. So the fake breakout happened, even though it did not reach the exact level we wanted. In fact, it came to this other one on M15. Was not that ideal, and nevertheless it gave us that fake breakout and the buys came in. Did I make any entries? Not really. Why? I failed to keep on checking it and I missed that. But anyway, I was already into other assets, so I didn't want to go in for the third asset. So that happened, and then the buy came through. It was short-lived for about 2-3 hours, and then it gave us this kind of a structure, of which I thought we will eventually see some buys continue, but it was not ready to do that. It actually gave us went into the other way. And now we want to talk about today. Delete all that. So let's look at H1. So let's see, that was a strong resistance. That's why we did not see price go in to continue the buys in the first place. That was a strong resistance right there. It held up. According to H1, this became our change of character right there. According to H4, however, yeah, even H4, that is our change of character, I believe so. So now we are seeing a new H4 has started after giving us an inverted hammer right there on H4. This inverted hammer came here to grab that liquidity on that fair value gap, and that's why we are seeing the pullback. According to CCI, we need to continue with buys on H4. So if price was here to grab liquidity and then continue with buys, then we should be looking at M15 giving us an entry, an H1. We are seeing buys starting here on H1, but price is already above our 10 MA, but it's not a right time for us to make that entry. We can rather wait for a pullback. Yeah, it's gonna happen. The pullback is going to happen according to M15 and H1, which will be confirming H1 entry. So all we need is this pullback, probably to this OB right here, that initiated this buy move that we are currently seeing on M15, and that will be our entry for the buys. So having seen all this, I'm happy about this analysis, and I will gladly wait for this pullback. Those who are scalpers, you can wait and enter this sell on M1 and M5 to reach this other order block according to M15. For scalpers only. For intraday traders and probably swing traders, you can wait for this as your entry for the buys and leave alone the sell, because it's gonna be a short one. It's for scalpers to engage in and go in for that kind of a sell. But even for scalpers, you want to wait for M5 until price goes below our 10 MA, then you can make your entry for this kind of a move. Alright, so enough of J10. Let's now talk about gold. Yeah, gold happened just like I told you guys, that the sale will continue. Just have gold here. We are 3 minutes into our time that we normally close at. So what happened to gold? So this was gold. Let's go to M15, drag it here. So yesterday all I wanted was a pullback here, then we can enter buys, but it's consolidated there for some good hours, for about like 3 or 4 hours. Then it broke this previous lower low, and I had told you that once it breaks that, you don't have to wait, you immediately enter your sales. I did not do that because I was not trading gold yesterday. I was not focusing on it because I saw this what was happening here, so I switched off and didn't trade gold at all. I kept on with the other two assets. So I missed it, but it's okay. So this happened, but this did not happen. What we saw was the breakout and continuation of the sales. So what do we need now? What are we seeing currently? We are seeing price continuing with sales. Let's go to H1, bring it here. So we saw a breakout on this other support according to H1 and H4. Yeah, and that marked our change of character. Remember what I told you, that when price breaks that, it will be our change of character level. Yesterday I talked about it, and that sell, I told you that if it happens, then we'll be anticipating a pullback to confirm the change of character, then we come in with our sells, and it's currently what is happening. So apparently we are seeing price giving us a pullback according to H4, but looking at what I have on CCI down below here, that is a signal to enter buys. That is a signal. In addition to that, you clearly see what is happening here. Look at that rejection coming in from buyers. It's another signal to think about buys. So if we drag it a little bit to H1, we can look at that and make sense of it. So we have that rejection, this hasn't closed yet, but it is also looking to be a positive rejection. All right. Let's see, can we make sense of this? This will clearly tell us that we need to continue with sales. Yeah, it will clearly tell us we need to continue with sales. However, it left some liquidity, so this will be the ideal move that will be coming through, this very move I talked about. And that very move, yes, it has not reached our intended level. Let's go to daily, we see if it actually reached it. I think it did reach it. Why do we say it reached it? Looking at daily, that would be the level. So if I go to let's see, that is the OB right there, the last OB right there. So if I go to H4, that will be the OB. So meaning, yeah, this move here is happening already. This move right here is happening already, and it's likely to come looking for this fair value gap, but we can only anticipate that to be a valid fair value gap for us to anticipate by using our Fib retracement tool. So if we use our Fib retracement tool, we realize that, yeah, it is covering all. So I would suggest that it is likely to come above at least the 38.2 and grab that right about there. So this could be that is my anticipation right about there. Grab that and then we get in with our sells. All right, so why do I say that there's still more of sells today? According to the structure that we have here, yes, it is on a support, but it's likely to, at the end of the day, give us this kind of a move. It's likely to do this and then do this back to that OB, and that's where the buys will be coming in from here to push us for the buys. It's quite, let me first remove the Fib. It's not giving us anything. So this will be the move to reach here, and then we come in with that kind of a buy. So this is no longer necessary, and this is what is necessary now. So that will be my anticipation right there, for price to come to that and then give us the buys later. So for now, it's a no-go for me. I may wait for the sells here, or I wait for the buys right here when it comes all the way back to this OB. If it does come back, according to H1, it may not come back, but we have to be patient and wait. All right, I think that's it for today. Let's do a recap and we call it a day. So we started with crash 500, and it has gained enough momentum and has already broken out. So it means this is no longer necessary. It's not going to follow that anymore. It has continued with the buy, and we know where it is going. It is headed to that level. So do we anticipate a pullback because of this resistance up there, because of that high there, or not? I think we can anticipate a pullback, a short pullback. If it happens, then you can get your entry. If it doesn't, then you don't have your entry for the buys to reach there. That's it. It is as simple as that. Boom 1,000. Yes, buyers are coming in place, and I told you this is one of those that you may forego today because of the way it is, having its way of momentum, the momentum it has today. You may forego it. Yes, there is rejection coming in from buyers, but we rather wait because it's quite not yet there. You need a reversal signal. Probably you can wait for that on H1 for you to get a proper entry. So something like this, something like that. It's what I can anticipate for you to wait for. Boom 500. Okay, I think we were waiting for this. We want the sell, then we want the sell. But then M30 is not yet ready for the sell, so we have to wait patiently. It may do this and then do that again according to M30 until M30 gets overbought. So for now, I may not trade this asset. I may not trade it. V25S, yeah, we are waiting for this. This is going to be our entry for the buys. This is going to be our entry for the buys. So wait, leave it on M5. We need this on V75, pull back there, then we can enter our sales. This is according to M15, so patiently waiting. So V25S and V75, they are one of those that I'm going to be focusing on in the next few minutes. And jump 50 has again left us. Jump 50 has again left us. Look at that. That was supposed to be our entry, and it did not wait for H1 to close. The next M15 gave us what we needed to make that entry. So for now, I have no business with this asset. I may wait again. You never know, because the hour hasn't closed yet. It can easily pull back. So for now, no business. All right, so this is getting into shape. This is what, jump 25. All we need is to wait for the sell to begin and price to be below our 10 MA for us to come in with our sales on jump 25. J10, we need a pullback here, then we can enter. This is one of those I'm also going to be focusing on today. So J10, VC25 and V75, and possibly even J25. Those 4 assets are likely to give us some entries. Then gold is it needs some good time for us to get a clean entry. It needs some good time, so leave it for now. Let's wait. All right, that's it for today. Hope you guys had a great time. Please remember to subscribe if you've never subscribed before, and of course don't forget to hit that bell button to give us a like or thumb as we keep on pushing, as you keep on encouraging me, of course, to keep on doing what I'm doing. Otherwise, I want to wish you guys a good day. Remember to follow your trading plan if you have one, or remember to follow your principles, your guides as you trade, so that you don't make some unnecessary mistakes that you will eventually regret doing, not following your guides. Otherwise, see you tomorrow, same time, 10:30 to 11:30. Bye bye.